Hi everybody, this is Nika Blue, and I am coming to you today to do another update on my square foot garden. So here it is. As you can see, it's progressed quite a bit from the last video. So we'll head on in here. Forgive the howling, that's the neighbor's dog. They have a husky and a Malamute. They don't bark, they howl. So here are my tomato plants, and as you can see, they are just kind of all over the place. They've way outgrown the cages. I got them pretty much leaning up against the fence right now. And as you can see, they're starting. I got a few that are starting to turn red, and I have a few that need a few more days, but I've already harvested a few tomatoes off of both of these plants. This one doesn't really seem to be these ones don't seem to be getting as ripe as the ones here in the front. I don't know if that just has to do with where it's at or what, but this one in the front started producing ripe tomatoes earlier than the one in the back, so I don't know what that's about. And if you look up this trellis, that is my cucumber plant, 2 cucumber plants, and these are the Market Moors, if you remember. And these one, I haven't really seen any oh, there's one tiny itty bitty little cucumber just starting to show up. And as you can see, it's gotten quite tall. I think in the last video you didn't even see it. But yeah, so that one's about as tall as I am right now. And down here, these are my green bean bushes, and I've been harvesting green beans off of this one for probably a couple of weeks now. We made some green bean bundles, which are like the best food I've ever had in my entire life. You've got to try it if you don't know what they are. It's just green beans wrapped in bacon, but they're delicious, and my boyfriend's mom found that recipe. Next to that, what are you doing? Get out of my garden! Let me close the fence there. Okay, so next to that is my other cucumber plants, and as you can see, this is the pickler cucumber plant, and this sucker is tall. Now, this trellis is 6 feet above the box, and as you can see, it's already at the top of the trellis, so I don't know what to do if it gets any higher. I guess hopefully it'll fold over on itself and start winding its way back down or something. I don't know. But this one has a few cucumbers on it already, and they're getting big. Well, they're getting bigger than the other ones, but they're still pretty tiny, and I'm not gonna look for any right now because they're short. Oh, there's one. There's a little one back there, and there's a few more on here. I just don't have time to look for them. In between this cucumber plant and this cucumber plant, if you remember, are my I'm sorry, these aren't my honeydews, these are my sugar baby watermelons, and as you can see, I got this watermelon growing right here, so hopefully that'll continue to grow with no problems. And I got a little one starting right there, and I got another little one starting right there. So actually, I'm pretty pleased with the way these turned out, because I was kind of worried about the watermelon plants, just because everything else around it grew so fast that these really just were kind of overshadowed rather quickly. But these seem to be doing okay. Next to those are my jalapeno pepper plants, and I'm going to have to do something about these. I don't know why these are turning brown. I have no idea. I've been spraying these down with like a insecticide / fungicide that's based off of neem oil, but I don't know. I know I laid down some fertilizer, and that fertilizer is horrible, because as you can see, like, I don't know if you can see it, but it's been rainy here the past few days, and I have slugs, which I never had before. I'm so mad. Before I laid down this fertilizer, I never had slugs. And also, this fertilizer is starting to turn moldy. So I have sprayed it down with a fungicide, and hopefully that'll kill that mold. But all that mold is where I laid that fertilizer down, so I don't know what to do about that, but I need to find some kind of slug bait or something to get rid of these slugs. These are my carrots, and as you can see, now I know these said 75 days, but I pulled one carrot and it was still pretty tiny, so I'm just going to leave these in here and let them do whatever they want, and maybe I'll pick them next month or something, I don't know. But they're pretty, but I heard the carrots are pretty slow to grow, so we'll see. And next to that, as you can see, I pulled out the bell pepper plant because it just was not making any bell peppers at all. It would get flowers and then they drop off, and it wasn't doing anything. It'd get bigger, but it just wasn't producing anything. Next to that, I planted a stevia, which is that plant that they make Truvia out of, the sweetener. And the leaves, you're supposed to dry them, and then it's supposed to be like 300 times sweeter than sugar. You can't actually chew on these leaves. It is actually really sweet. I tried it, but you probably don't want to eat the leaf itself. It's pretty gross. More green beans that I've been harvesting. This is my honeydew melons, and as you can see, they're not doing well at all. I think they just have way too much shade back here, so they're not really growing, and you know, they started to get a little bit of the powdery mildew, and I sprayed them down with some neem oil, insecticide, fungicide, so hopefully that'll keep it from progressing, but I don't hold out too much hope for these sugar babies. If they produce anything, I'll be really surprised. This is kind of my mystery square. I have no idea what I planted in here, but I'm just letting it grow. Here are my onions and more of that moldy fertilizer stuff. I knew I should have just left it alone, but stupid me, I thought my plants needed to be fertilized, so I did it anyway, so I'm paying the price for that now. But anyway, these are my other tomato plants, and as you can see, they're getting huge. This one has finally started to grow a little bit and produce some tomatoes, and this one has really grown and is way producing more tomatoes now than earlier when it wasn't, and I think that just has to be attributed to the fact that it warmed up for a few weeks. I mean, it got hot, like in the 90s, which I know isn't hot as the East Coast, but it was still pretty hot. And this is my blackberry bush, and I don't know if I had this the last time I did a video, but that's a blackberry bush that I bought this year, and hopefully I'll get some blackberries on it next year. So yeah, that was my garden, and stay tuned for the next update. Alright, bye.